Oh, what is going on, everybody?
Hello.
It is Pixel Partners here, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations 2. When we left off, everything was going all great and well in that courtroom when we were getting the best all caught up, and then what's-her-face got all caught, but then we had to go back to reality of the fact that, you know, the president of Zhang still got murdered and his dead body was found in the film lot, and then
This
Agent Lang's like...
wolfy guy shows up.
He shows just takes over, and so now we gotta prove that Courtney is hopefully innocent because she's still being sus by Courtney being real sus right now by not saying what they were meeting on the rooftop for.
I am begrudgingly attracted to this man.
Of course. Of course.
I think a lot of people are.
Yes. He decided to say that there was dirt inside the costume because it must have gotten there when the body was hidden inside. Let's press on this. So, dirt got into the costume when the body was hidden inside. Wouldn't that mean that the dirt was transferred from the body? Isn't that obvious? How else would you say it got there?
There's dirt stuck everywhere inside the costume. Looks particularly bad around the chest area.
Dirt around the chest? We cannot overlook this fact.
Mr. Lang's logic does seem to make sense.
Indeed, if those two were accomplices, the crime certainly would have been possible. So it would be useless to argue that point.
In that case, what should we do?
First, we should have Agent Lang explain his reasoning in more detail. Let's draw out more information. Alright, so we got this thing in here with the dirt inside the costume. We have... Well, there's no dirt on him though.
No.
So it shouldn't have gotten dirty.
Oh, the chest area.
I was saying the chest has that weird ass
the yellow
stain on it.
There would have been yellow.
You'd think there'd be yellow in there too. Yeah, I think that's it actually. I know last time we were on the whole, you know, Will Powers got in the body anyways thing.
Yeah,
so
got
in the suit, not the body.
Well,
oh God, Will Powers could wear Zhang Fa president's body. Let me tell you what. If he really wanted to, he'd fit. They're made perfectly for each other. Anyways, dirt got in the costume when the body was hidden inside it. Is that really the case? You have a problem with that?
Yes.
There's a fair amount of dirt inside the front of the costume.
Not gonna lie, when I first saw that picture, my blind eyes, it looked like maggots to me in there.
I mean, to be fair, it's so...
and I was like, ew, the dead body was in there, but no.
You know, it's not super detailed, so it's hard to tell what those specks are.
It's rubble, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lot of dirt.
However, I would like you to focus on the state the body is in.
The status.
It's lying on top of the dirt, and yet there's no dirt on the front of the body. If the body really was inside the costume, then it's strange that the front of the body isn't stained with more dirt. Well then how would you explain it? How did the dirt get inside the costume?
That is a good question, though.
From the video footage, it's very likely that someone was inside the costume. But just who could it have been?
Where have I seen this?
What's the matter, Kay?
I just feel like I remember seeing something that looked like this dirt somewhere before. But where was it? There were these bits of gray fragments mixed in with the dirt.
Gray fragments? There does seem to be something other than normal dirt mixed into this.
Something must have gotten stuck to it, and lots of it, I might add.
Something got stuck to it? This may merit a closer look. Where do we see dirt that looks like what was stuck inside of the costume? I mean, the only thing I can think of off the top of my head that's dirty are the gloves.
Yep. Same gray fragments on it.
Yeah,
See?
exact same. Huh. Interesting. We said at the same time. Interesting. This dirt has some gray bits mixed into it.
Interesting.
Huh? And what of it? We found an item belonging to a certain man that was covered in the same type of dirt. That is to say, these gloves. Those dirt stains. It doesn't look the same. But tell me, just what exactly is this gray substance? This gray substance is...
Looks like concrete.
Yeah, I think so. This gray substance must be fragments of concrete.
You mean the stuff that was scattered around the monster's footprints?
Exactly. Meanwhile, who did these gloves stained with the same kind of dirt belong to?
Oh, I I remember. We found it at Blaze's place.
Earlier today, we went to Blaze's garage. There we discovered these dirt-stained gloves. Come to think of it, there were also hammers, shovels, and other tools placed inside as well.
Oh, yeah.
While mechanic gloves, intended to be used on machines, be covered in dirt. If you broke the concrete with the hammer and then dug into the soil with the shovel, then it's only natural for dirt like that to get into the gloves.
Then maybe...
Yes, the true nature of the monster's footprints has been made clear. It's possible that these footprints were dug up by Blaze the Best himself. It's possible? It's possible, you say? Please do enlighten me, because I say I have no clue. Why on earth would he do something like that? Way to make the monster footprints? Think about the answer must be... I mean, I was along the lines of he was digging something up at first, because that's why there would be multiple of them, because he was trying to find a certain spot.
Yeah.
You know, if he was burying something, you'd only need one. But if I'm right, aren't there like 3 of them?
There's 3.
Yeah, if you were just burying something, unless you were trying to split it up, and split 3 things up into parts, granted, it could be, you know, he could try and bury, like, some of the evidence from that trial. Plus, we're losing a tiny bit more health bar here.
I still...
What?
Bury something. You always say... You're like Mark when he says tutorial.
Listen, I've always said bury, not bury.
No, you say he could have buried something.
Is that what I say?
Yes.
Now you've got me all wound up in my own way of saying things.
Go back and you'll hear yourself.
Digging something up, right?
You say bury.
It's possibly was digging something up.
You never say bury.
It probably went something like this.
Kind of like when you instead of ruins you say runes.
Yes, that's a big one. It's rune, not ruin. Rune. You ruined it. Not.
You ruined it.
It's ruined, not ruined.
It's not ruined.
Semantics. Potato.
What?
Last night at this spot, there was something that Blaze needed to dig
There's
up.
an eye in there. Ruined.
For that reason, he broke the lock on the back door and sneaked into the film lot.
Comments, can you back me up, please?
Please don't. Using the hammer and shovel, he set to work.
And when Mark says room, he says rum.
Rum, yeah.
So you can't even deny your own.
He has a. It's not a hard U. It's like a light U sound. A rum. Tutorial.
Tutorial, he says.
He placed the items he dug up into this bag, but before he could fill in the holes.
Ah, that's when John came to practice.
Exactly. Blaze panicked and had no choice but to hide himself in the Mozilla costume nearby. No. Think you would deduce so much from just a pair of dirt-stained gloves.
I just missed everything because I was too busy talking about your talking.
We're talking about how he was trying to dig something up, and before he could fill in the holes, John came in to practice, so he had to hide inside Mozilla.
Oh.
That's pretty much it. However, this is merely a possibility. There's still no proof that he was the one who was hiding inside that costume. For all we know, he might have left the scene once he finished digging. On the contrary, such proof does exist and can be seen in the video. When this video was recorded, Blaze was definitely inside the film lot. What? Though I can't blame Agent Lang for not noticing.
What?
They've seen the current film lot. And when John's... Is it that bag that's behind the Mozilla thing?
Yeah, there's
I
something
can't
back
read
there.
that. I can't read that. It looks like if that red spot was an A, to me it looks like it says creamer. But that's because I'm like... I'm like 10 feet away from a big TV screen with a small game on it, so...
I don't see any letters because of my eyes. So
I know. It's a blur to me, but I'm trying to make it out. I might see it in post.
I see colors.
And the one in John's video. Along with the state of Blaze's garage. Up there's that bag right there. Yep, it's right above.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that sums that up. It's also clear that Blaze was still here. It's the bag. What proves that Blaze was still at the film lot when this video was recorded? Right here.
Wow.
Thank you, eyes. This bag placed near the costume. There was an identical one inside Blaze's garage. Ugh. First, the dirt on the gloves, and now the bag. It seems there's a connection. Question is, what was Blaze trying to dig up out here?
I don't know.
And that's my proof. Blaze was inside the costume. Ergo, the prison Spidey could not have been hidden inside it. Seems I was able to refute Agent Lang's reasoning. Someone needs to go investigate Blaze's house right away, pal. We need to know what was inside that bag. Yeah, sure.
Y'all pop down and listen up. Y'all been saying whatever works best for y'all.
And the noisy one returns.
That there's the footprints of the mighty Mozilla. They ain't just some random hole dug up by that old coot.
I believe the true nature of these footprints has already been proven quite logically.
Logic schmogic, I ain't buying it.
I know.
Say what you want, but I know what I saw when I saw Mozilla.
Is she referring to how she saw Mozilla out the window of the Grand Tower? Preposterous.
Upon our journalist souls, we ain't having none of it.
That statement is an insult to journalists everywhere.
Damn. Ah, that's right. There's more to them monsters than just these footprints.
Oh god.
I remember hearing that Sonny over there was seen with the monster earlier.
Oh god.
Oh, God.
I reckon that gal over there said she witnessed it herself.
It's just a smudge on the lens, man. Smudge on the lens?
Oh, my
Okay.
God.
When these two are together, all meaningful talk grinds to a halt.
If we only knew just what the monster really was, I think those two would quiet down. Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything you can do?
The monster's true identity. We don't have much choice. Let's see what we can do.
Isn't there something y'all ain't telling us about the monster?
Nicole, ask him. Ask him right now.
Please settle down. Regarding the true identity of that monster, I already know what it is.
What'd you say?
That's right. The video John recorded provided the hint that I needed.
What you talking about?
Miss Nichols saw Gourdy when she went to check up on John's practice. That time she mistook something for Gourdy. The monster can be seen in this photograph.
Yep, the camera thingy. What? Ain't that just some plain old souvenir photo? Y'all don't really think you can pull the wool over the eyes of a pro like me, do ya?
Oh wait, I don't remember if they said. Oh, they did say in this one they cover the camera thing with the tarp. So do I put the stand or the camera? I'm gonna push on like the stand.
Yep.
Didn't even think about that. I'm like, that's not even evidence, but
I thought of it.
naturally, Gourdy's true identity was this camera crane.
What?
The video John recorded was shot from fairly high up. A shot from this position would be impossible without a camera crane.
But there ain't no way Miss Nichols will mistake a camera crane for Gourdy.
I wonder about that. Miss Nichols,
Yes?
earlier you said the prescription of your glasses didn't match your eyesight anymore, correct?
Like me! Yes, lately it seems like my eyesight has suddenly gotten a lot worse.
So you would say that you weren't able to see Gourdy very clearly in the dark?
That's right. Its silhouette was all I could make out.
But I remember what Miss Nichols said, and I quote, "His skin was really scaly, almost like a reptile. Camera cranes ain't got no flesh on them, let alone skin. It's just a bare steel frame."
That is certainly true, at least in the case of this photo. However, last night it did have skin.
They're like, what?
Y'all just doing whatever you can to get in the way of our big scoop, ain't ya?
That was not my intention. But since I've come this far, it's time to put an end to your nonsense. Gourdy's skin is right before your very eyes. This is the skin of Gourdy that Miss Nichols saw. Boopity boop.
The
Boop.
tarp.
Okay. As Miss Nichols stated in her testimony earlier, it looked like it was going to rain last night. Well, it never actually rained. John still covered the camera crane with a rainproof sheet, which to Miss Nichols looked like a monster's skin.
What?
Oh, there goes the bear trap.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
Isn't that right, John?
Man, you saw right through it all. Not bad, old man.
I'm not that old, but thank you. Unfortunately, the Gourdy that Miss Nichols saw was nothing more than an illusion.
Not again. Looks like my dream has shriveled up and died once again. But Mentor! Seems like things have finally settled down. I really thought the boy was hiding something from me. Guess I had it all wrong.
Now that we figured out the true form of the monster, everyone seems refreshed.
Actually, there's 2 people here who are totally bummed out. Ancient Lang!
Yes, there we go.
The report is in, sir. We've got the results of President Huang's autopsy.
Good, show it to me.
Calm down,
Now,
jeez.
or I'll bite you.
Oh, dear.
Contusions and bone fractures found across the
Sorry,
body,
sir, I'm not into that.
resulting from tremendous pressure. So this is the cause of death. In other words, he was crushed to death. I thought as much. Maybe by a giant Mozilla head?
Yeah, right.
I mean, could be. The yellow stain on his chest is currently under investigation. But it seems that gunpowder residue was found on his right hand.
So we sunflower residue? I didn't know the president was into gardening.
No, gunpowder residue traceable left behind when a gun is fired. Since it has been found on his right hand, it's possible that the president fired a gun.
A gun, huh? We didn't find any guns when we investigated this area.
Unexplained gunpowder residue? I'll have to look over the autopsy report later. Now then, Agent Lang. Seems we have our answer. The president did not die from falling off the roof of the Grand Tower. Rather, he died from being crushed under Mozilla's head. I can't deny it. Looks like your logic was right after all.
Yeah. This means the suspicions surrounding Miss Courtney should be cleared up, right?
Fuck no. Yes, not only the cause of death, but the time of death proves her innocence as well. Judge Courtney met with the president 2 nights ago. However, according to their autopsy report, the time of death was around 11 p.m. last night. Mozilla's head also fell last night. It matches up perfectly.
That's a relief. Not so, yep.
Isn't it a bit too early to be relieved?
You could be like, she pushed it off.
Agent Lang. The president died after being crushed by the Mozilla's head. That I will admit. But the problem is, who was responsible for the falling head? Mozilla's head fell last night. And last night, the one who was at the film lot was... Oh. You think it's a little boy that pushed that head?
What are you saying? Surely you're not implying.
That's right. You killed him, didn't you? John Marsh.
Really? Why is he sweating?
That pup is hiding something. He was at the scene where the body was discovered last night. He also saw the footprints. And despite that, he still claims to know absolutely nothing about the incident. Isn't that a bit too convenient? These footprint-shaped holes have not been proven to be related to the case. Just because he saw the holes doesn't necessarily mean that he's involved in the incident. You sure about that? Take a look at the pup's face. He looks pretty shaken up to me. Looks like he hit the mark, but John doesn't want to talk about it. If he doesn't feel like talking, then I have an idea of my own. Let's check the tape. Agent Lang, what is your intention? The police have a device that lets you analyze the video footage up close and personal.
Agent Lang, you would suspect John enough to go that far.
As long as John's lips are sealed. This may be the only way for us to get closer to the truth. Detective Gumshoe, if I'm not mistaken, you have that device with you, correct? Mr. Analysis is ready to go, sir, at all times.
Oh yeah, the Mr. Analysis, I remember that.
Now we're talking.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, would you please perform the video analysis for me?
She wants me to do it.
Who knows what kind of faults that Wolfman will find in it?
This isn't exactly my strong suit, but I suppose I have no choice.
She doesn't trust him looking over it.
Are any new clues shown in the video? Well, I mean, number one, let's zoom in over here, because this is the thing that has the most detail going on. We got the suit zipped open.
Zipped open, yeah.
I don't think there's anything here. I'm gonna zoom out. Let me zoom in here. Nothing there. I do want to zoom in on like the stairs, maybe.
Oh.
Well, thank God I zoomed in on the stairs. That wasn't. I couldn't see that in the dark earlier.
Wow.
This is.
What's the matter? I want to see too. Huh?
Hey, what's wrong? Show it to me.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I request you submit the evidence to the court.
Please take a look at the top right corner of the zoomed in video. This person is the president.
Impossible!
Huh? No way.
Seems we finally found it at last. The evidence that points to the true killer. This video places John at a major disadvantage.
You're wrong. That's not right. I didn't know anything about this.
That's not gonna cut it. It's clear that you and the victim were together at the same place where the body was later found. John Marsh, there's no doubt you killed the president.
No, this can't be. Why? Why would you? John, please don't tell me. Did you really kill the president?
Mr. Edgeworth, is this really decisive evidence?
Mr. Prosecutor, looks like even you can't object to this.
Oh, God.
The pup said he didn't know anything, right? And yet the president's right here in the video. John, what are you hiding?
Mom mode. John, please tell us the truth.
The truth is, it's all my fault.
John Marsh, what did you do?
Mozilla's head falling was all my fault.
Uh-oh. Well, I mean, apparently it's not going to be his fault. He just thinks it is.
While I was setting up the equipment on the roof, I used the heater. After that, I went down to practice, but I forgot to turn it off. And my mom called me, so I left the film lot. When I came back to the lot after the phone call was over, Lucilla's head that was on the roof had fallen. And right next to it was the president, lying dead on the ground.
How can that be?
I see. There were indeed traces that something had caught fire on the rooftop.
It was just a small fire, so I was able to put it out by myself. So, the president's death was John's fault?
But wouldn't that make this an accident, sir? And then what did you do with the fallen head?
I took it apart, brought the pieces up the roof, and put it back together.
So you put out the fire and even put the fallen head back on the roof? Which means you were hiding evidence. We can't be having that, you naughty little pup.
I didn't do it on purpose. I really did just forget to turn off the heater.
When the legs broke, the stand would have tilted. If Mozilla's head was on top of the stand,
It would have fallen off. So the head fell down because of the fire.
yes, and if that's the case, I also have a pretty good idea what caused the fire. There's a flammable can next to the heater. It seems someone is lacking in safety awareness. Was it really just an accident? If that's the truth, then what was the president doing here?
I don't know. There was no one else around when I was there.
You expect me to believe that? The president wouldn't have just come to a place like this without a reason, you know. Indeed, the president's reason for coming here is still a huge mystery.
We're not gonna learn from him anytime soon.
Well, here's what we can... I mean, we have a few bits that we can add. So obviously, President Huang went to the roof with Courtney and had a talk. After Courtney left, he never went back down the elevator, so he had to have gone back through the 51st floor, which means that he knew about all of the black market dealings. There's no doubt about that. If you go into that floor, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
We know that Blaze the Best is the conductor of the auctions, or is supposed to be the conductor of the auctions. And Blaze the Best was also at the film lot.
Yeah.
He was there digging things up. He was there a little bit earlier, it looks like.
Yeah.
And he hid inside the Mozilla head. So, potentially, maybe Huang and Blaze were both there and something happened. Maybe they were trying to look for something and maybe. I mean, we can now put them both pretty much at the crime scene on the night of the crime.
Yeah.
We see Huang standing there in the shadows, and we know that Blaze was apparently hiding in the not in the body, but in the Mozilla costume at that time.
In Mozilla's body.
Yes. So that puts them both there, at least technically. But I don't know. Chance to go with the judge Gourdy on the roof of the Grand Tower. And last night he was here at the film lot. Did he meet with John? I'll have to listen to John's testimony very carefully.
He might have met with Blaze.
That's what I'm thinking. Is that
Yeah.
they went there to go get some kind of evidence that was being looked for, maybe being protected for the sale, potentially.
I don't know.
So I'm going on the roof. I used the heater. After that, I went down to practice, but I forgot to turn it off. Mom called me, so I left the film lot. I came back to the lot after the phone call was over. His head that was on the roof had fallen, and right next to it was the president lying dead on the ground.
It'd be pretty scary to see a corpse just suddenly appear out of the blue like that. Not to mention the fallen monster head lying next to the body.
Panic would certainly be an understandable response to such a situation.
But still, all things considered, this was just an accident, right?
Indeed, that is if we decide to take John's words at face value. I wouldn't mind having some more concrete details on the state of the crime scene. Let's see if we can get some. Let's start with the heater stuff.
Yeah.
John, you're still young. I know it can get a little cold in early spring, but you shouldn't have to resort to a heater.
Just precisely because he is young that he must make sure to take good care of himself.
However, while it can get a bit chilly during this time of year, I wouldn't necessarily say...
Oh.
Hold it, old man. Is this really the right time to be having this argument?
Gah. He's clearly right.
John, you did well to get the better of Mr. Edgeworth, but please mind your language.
Let's not forget that he got the better of you too, Your Honor.
I know, Mom. So, where was I?
Alright, after that I went down and turned the press pocket and turned it off. I don't really need to press that. My mom called me, so I left the film lot. Came back. Let's start with the phone call part, maybe. It was late at night at the film lot, and not a single member of the film crew was around. So then why did you have to leave the premises in order to answer the phone call?
I totally forgot about the phone call thing, so I kind of panicked. If I didn't answer it fast, I would have been busted for leaving the hotel without permission.
In that case, why didn't you just answer it here?
Because I was rehearsing, all the cameras and mics were on. If I talked here, every last word I said to Mom would have been caught on camera.
Understandable. So he was embarrassed that the conversation with his mother would be recorded.
Anyways, I stopped practicing for a bit and rushed out of the film lot.
Came back and the phone call was over.
He didn't want Love You Too, Mom to be recorded on there.
In that phone call, you lied and said you were at the hotel, correct?
Why didn't you tell your mom that you were rehearsing?
If I told her that, she would have called the hotel and made them send me a taxi or something. Of course I would have. A child alone on the streets at that time of night. What sort of parent would allow their child to be in such a dangerous situation?
I guess kids just don't understand how their parents feel.
It goes both ways, Mr. Edgeworth.
Indeed. Now then, John, please tell us about what happened after the phone call.
Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. When the call was finished and they came back here...
Mozilla's head that was on the roof had fallen. Was there any indication that the head was about to fall?
I don't know. I was focused on my rehearsal.
So you forgot to turn off the heater, which led to a fire on the roof. I would think you should have at least heard something.
Heard something? Oh, I was wearing headphones, so...
Headphones?
Listening to the movie's soundtrack helps me get into the scene. I had it on full blast, that's why I didn't hear anything.
And yet you noticed your mother's incoming call?
I had my phone on vibrate, old man. That's how I noticed. Anyways, the head had fallen.
He's like, you ever heard of Bluetooth? Doy. Okay, so it was the president lying dead on the ground. What was the state of the body?
I didn't get a good look, because it was dark.
Huh? He's suddenly becoming as quiet as a mouse.
I guess John doesn't really want to remember anything about the body.
Is that the only reason why he's going so quiet? Should I press him for more details? Press him further!
Yeah.
You didn't get a good look? Then how'd you know he was dead?
That's... well...
He's clearly shaken. He must be hiding something. Wouldn't you normally call for help if you see someone collapsed on the ground? However, you did nothing of the sort.
But he was already dead.
Is that so? You seem quite certain that the president was already dead. Now, was there a reason for that, I wonder?
The guy was collapsed on the ground, and right next to him was the fallen monster's head. I'm not stupid. It wasn't hard to imagine what happened.
You can imagine whatever you want, but there was no way for you to know that he was dead. You actually checked to make sure the president was dead, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. I was scared, but I got up close to the body and checked to see if he was breathing.
I thought as much. However, why would he hide that? Must be a reason. Please tell me the state of the body at that time.
At first, I didn't know he was dead. I would have realized sooner if there had been any blood. But there wasn't a single drop, and his clothes were completely spotless. Either way, he wasn't breathing. That's how I knew he was already dead.
Would you please append those statements to your testimony?
Ooh.
I didn't know right away.
That he was dead. There was no blood, and his clothes were spotless.
Well, there's a giant spot on his chest.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
They weren't spotless.
His clothes were spotless.
Yeah, that's right. You got a problem with it, old man?
I do, and we're going to talk about that problem next time.
Ooh, things are getting interesting.
You're going to be in big trouble, mister. And Courtney over here is going to ground you.
He's already in trouble.
You are already in big trouble. You're just adding extra weeks to that time without your Nintendo Switch, boy. So you better think about this long and hard. Your villagers in Animal Crossing are going to really forget about you.
Oh my God.
Do you really want them to forget about you?
Is that an indirect at me?
No, but you should probably pay attention to them too.
Maybe.